Okay, somebody asked about this question. It's a number pattern question which is found in 2019 O level paper which I've given you. Okay, the solutions are all with you. Now, the question starts by giving you a diagram like this, and this is called a number grid. Okay. Now, they say that a rectangular column outlined four numbers as shown, and it can be placed anywhere on the grid. Okay, so what does this mean? I think probably some of you don't know what it means. So I cut out this section here. Okay, what it means is that what you see shaded here, right, 9, 15, 21, 27, it's one of the box that can be formed by this triangle. Okay, this column. Alright, now they're trying to say that this column can be placed anywhere on the grid. This is the grid, right? So they are trying to say that I can shift this here, 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 okay, anywhere anywhere. Okay, so that's what they're trying to say. Now, if T represents the number in the top of the rectangle, now what rectangle are they talking about? They are not talking about this, okay? They are talking about this rectangle, because you see, if you read the English, like that, right? This rectangular whatever. So this rectangle refers to this rectangular column, okay? And they want you to find an expression in terms of T for the product of the top number. That means your answer must have T lah. And then they want you to multiply the top number and the bottom number in the column. This is the column they're talking about. Okay, so they want you to multiply this by this. Okay, so how do you start to do this question? So the hint is here. T represents this. That means this number here is T. Okay, and if this number here is T, you look at the pattern. Okay, how does the number go? It's actually added 1, then plus 1, plus 1, then plus 1, plus 1, then go to the next number, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, so on and so forth, right? Okay, so it's actually T and T plus 18, because the difference between this and this is 18, which means that it is T and T plus 18. Now in the O levels this year, this year 2019, right? Some students look at this, then they thought it's 3T. Okay? Because they thought that it's 9 times 3, then get 27. Okay, it's wrong. Why is it wrong? Because if I were to go to another box, it doesn't tally, you see. This you times 3, it doesn't give you 22. Correct? Okay, so you have to see carefully that actually the number is being added. Alright, so that's how you get T. Okay, T times T plus 18. So that is part A, part 1. Alright, so this is your answer, A part 1. Okay, now let's take a look at A part 2. A part 2, explain what the difference between the product of the middle two numbers. What are the middle two numbers? Is these two, right? And the product of the top and the bottom numbers is always 27. Okay, so there are a few things here which you have to read carefully. The first thing is we are talking about the difference. Okay, so something minus something lah. Okay, and what's that something minus something? It is the product of the middle two numbers. Now if you take a look at it, this middle two number, these two, right? This is the top, this is the bottom. Middle two number is actually T plus 6. Okay, and T plus 12. Because you plus 12, you get this. So T plus 6 and then T plus 12. Alright, and you minus away what? Minus away the top and bottom, the product of the top and bottom number, which was your earlier part, that answer. Okay, so this is actually what they want. But for this particular question, you cannot just show like that. Okay, why? Because when they say explain, you need to have some words to go with the algebra. You cannot just show this You cannot just show this working and then oh this one cancel this one, then this one cancel this one, then this one 72. You cannot just show your working like that. Okay, so you will ask me then how to explain. Yeah, you have to at least accompany the algebra with some words to explain. Meaning to say you have to say like that, product of middle two numbers equals to this times this. Okay, then okay, this one is from part A lah. You can actually just point here from part A. Alright. Then down here, right, you have to write difference. Why? Because they want the difference, right? Alright. Then after you have written all this and then shown all this, you must show step by step expansion like this, okay. Then this one also you just show this and then show this, and then after that you can say shown or explain okay, right? Anyway, you explained already. So this is how you should do number part B or part 2. Okay, must accompany with explanation. Number part 3 now. I'm going to do part 3 now. The rectangular column. What rectangular column are they talking about? They're talking about this rectangular column. Okay, is placed on the grid such that the sum of the four numbers outlined is 360. Are they talking about this one in particular? No, they are talking about any place that you place here, right? Place here or place here or place here. Which one they're actually asking you which is the one that give you a sum of 360 when you add the four numbers together. Okay, and they want the largest number in the column. So let's say this is the one that add up to 360, then they want this number lah. Or if this is the one that add up to 360, right, then they want this number. Okay, so how do you go about doing this question? You have to make use of this, but in terms of t, this number would be like, okay, come back to this original. This number is like t, right? The next one will be t plus 6, right? And the next one will be t plus 12. And then the next one will be t plus 18, right? So when I add all these together, okay, it should be equal to 360. Now, when you work this out, you should get, I think t equals to 81. 81, Then, okay, that means that your largest number is 81, right? It is your first number, second number, third number, fourth number. Okay, so your largest number has to be t plus 18, and that is 81 plus 18, and that's 99. Okay, so that's how you get the answer for this last part here. Alright, now you must read question carefully. In this particular year, right, students thought that once they cannot do this first part because they don't know what the question is talking about, they thought they cannot do, then whole thing cannot do already. Now look carefully at part B. Part B, they say in a sequence S. This sequence S is another sequence, it has nothing to do with this fella. Okay, so in the exam, read carefully. Now this particular question, I would recommend how you do this question is this. You need to, okay, a good strategy is to draw like picture lah. So these are some of the strategies you can do. Index number, I told you all these terms, you can think of them as index number, right? So index number 3, index number 6, okay, these two people, you actually know their value. The value of the card being held by this third person is 36. The value of the card being held by this sixth person is 60. Okay, now they didn't tell you what the numbers are for index number 1, index number 2, index number 4, index number 5, right? Okay, you only know this, the value of the card held by these two person. Okay, so how do I do this expression, meaning they want the nth term, right? How do I do it? Okay, so this is how you do it. You draw an arrow like that, okay? Then draw an arrow like that. Then draw another arrow like that. So that means from this number to this number, it must add something, add something, add something, then become this number, right? Okay, so what you can do is you take 60 minus 36, you find the difference, that's 24, right? Okay, 24. That means this plus this plus this must be 24. So if I take 24 divided by 3, I'll get 8. That means it's actually plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. Okay? And also, of course, all the other numbers, they are plus 8 plus 8 lah. Okay? And if you remember in class, we went through this before. I told you that you can actually assume that every time the index number change, you change by 8, right? So assume that this is the answer. Okay? But of course, this is not the answer. So you get one volunteer to come. Okay, you don't know the card that is being held by index number 1, right? So you get somebody who you know the card number. So this fella is 3. So 8 times 3 is 24. But the actual value of the card this fella is holding is 36. So you must plus 12. That's why the answer is 8n plus 12. That's all. Okay? Now next, the last part, they want you to explain why the terms are all multiples of 4. Normally this kind, right, when you say, oh, all multiples of 4, all multiples of 3 or whatever, you must do some algebra and then your final answer must have 4 times something. Okay, 4 times some integer. Then that is the final so-called algebraic expression you must have, and then you just make an explanation based on that. Okay, so this is what I've done. I use my earlier part answer. This one, right? Then I take out common factor 4. That's it. Okay, and I say since 4 is a factor of this, all terms are multiple of 4. So you must have, this here is 1 mark, right? You must have this step showing that it's 4 times this, and then because this is an integer, then it means that this, okay, this whole thing is a multiple of 4. Okay, if this is not an integer, if this is a fraction, right, then you cannot make this conclusion. Okay,